Zillow as the number one tool for wholesalers? Yes, Zillow. So in this video, I am going to show you how to use Zillow and my tool Zomps, how to turn it into your number one tool to find your first or next wholesale deal. So you know what you need to do. You need to simply stand by and let's get it.
Flip man, it's the flip man, flip man. You want some money in your hand, flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.
Hello guys, this is Ty, aka the Flip Man. And yes, this video is about how to turn Zillow into your number one tool to wholesale houses. This step-by-step training dives deep into how my method called KISS, keep it super simple, will allow you to go from not making any offers on a daily basis to making 10 or more offers with just a little effort. Also in this training, I am going to help wholesalers that are struggling to, number one, generate leads and knowing what to offer and how to offer. In addition, it will be an opportunity for you to actually even partner with me if you choose to. Now, before we get into the training, I want you to understand is that if you're not making any offers, I guarantee you won't do any deals. This particular training, the KISS strategy, is my continuous attempt on how to make money wholesaling houses. So now all you have to do is the number one, watch this video all the way to the end, because in this video, I just added a new feature to Zomps that makes all of this work and work quickly. Now, this is a public announcement. Zomps is free now. It ain't always going to be like that. And that's coming to an end soon. It's been free ever since I launched it a couple of years ago, but I think we've gotten it to a point where it really has some true value, and we're just going to keep adding on features to make it easier for you to make money. That's not what this video is about. It's free right now. So you'll have an opportunity to take advantage of it to start pursuing deals as soon as you stop watching this video. Now, before we get into the training, I don't ask for much. If you will, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tap the little bell, select all so you are alerted when I do upload videos like this, and you get an alert when we go live 4 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Fridays. Also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as the Twitter, and even LinkedIn. Now, enough of me yapping, on to the video. So we're going to use a couple of tools here. We're going to use Zomps, which is free as the date of this video, and we're going to use Zillow, right? We're going to use those two tools to make this happen. All righty. So the first thing that you want to do, and you must be on a laptop or a desktop to use this Google Chrome extension. I don't have any control over that, but to use this extension to make Zillow a smarter Zillow, to make it wholesaler, real estate investor friendly, this will get you going. It's not a must that you use it, but it'll make things a lot easier. You'll see here in a moment. So the first thing we want to do is go here and select Google Chrome extension. You want to hit add to Chrome and then add extension. All right. Once you have it, you'll see this notification, and then you can go over here to Zillow. You'll see this floating menu right here, correct? The first thing we want to do is we want to choose markets. So how do we choose markets? So we made it simple for you. If I go back to Zomps and I select find deals, you could go down here to the bottom, or you could stop right here, over 300 cities selected. This will probably look a little different by the time at some point when people start watching this video. List of cities to target. And as you can see, there are over 300 cities here, 335 to be exact. All right. And how I went about creating this list is that these are cities with at least 100,000 in population or more. Now, some of these are cities located in metro areas, so don't get caught up into that part of it. So I want to make this simple for you so you literally won't run out of opportunities. I'm going to show you why here in a moment. Okay, the next thing is you say, well, how do I choose? Some people even get bogged down on which numbers to choose. So let's do this. We're going to go to Google and we're going to do a search for random generator 1 to 100 numbers. Okay, so I'm going to select this first one up here. Normally these sites have a lot of ads on them, but I'm going with the one that has 5 numbers, right? So what I'll do here is I'll change this from 100 to 335. Okay, and hit go. Okay, so boom. So there are my random numbers there. So you can just roll with those. Don't overthink this. Don't overthink it. All right. So I already have some cities picked out though. All right. So we're going to start with Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right. So if I go here in Zillow and I select it, before I even dive into Tulsa, I just want to show you the number of opportunities that are out there nationwide. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to always, when you start to search for a new property using Zomps, you must reset all filters. So you go here to more at the top, reset all filters down here at the bottom, and then hit apply. Okay, then I'm going to remove my boundary. Remove the boundary over here at the top right, and then I'm going to zoom out. All right, so if you don't believe that there's endless opportunities out here, and I'm going to go up here under home type and deselect all and only select houses. All right. So now if I start to hover around these particular states, we'll just start right here in the middle of the USA in Kansas. All right. So if I click this toggle off right here, it will show me the number of properties that are listed in the state of Kansas right now with agents. So we're looking at over 5,800 properties in the state of Kansas. If I zoom out more, let's choose another state. We're just randomly going to choose states. We're choosing Ohio. There are over 17,000 properties listed for sale right now in Ohio. We can even go to a smaller populated state like West Virginia, and there's over 3,100 properties for sale right now. If we go over here into Maryland, it'll highlight that DMV area, general DMV area, looking at over 7,200 properties available right now. All right, if I zoom out, let's go a little south. Let's go to the state of Georgia. Over 36,000 properties available. And Florida is going to be ridiculous. Over 116,000 properties for sale in the state of Florida. Let's go out west a little bit. Let's go to Arizona. Over 27,000 for sale right now. We'll go up to Nevada. Over 8,200. And we'll go to California. Over 43,000. I think you get the point. You're not going to run out of opportunities. So let's go back to Tulsa. So I'll start here from the beginning, and I'm going to use Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right. Remember, I'm going to reset all filters, and I'm going to leave this panel over here on. This is the default version of Zillow, which I can close the map, refresh. Once I turn the toggle off, it'll open up the map. But if I want to bring the default version back, which is what we're going to use, we're going to do that. And then I'm going to go back here to more, reset all filters. And then other filters that I'm going to use, I'm going to go under here and show more. And I'm going to deselect everything but agent listed. And then under home type, again, I want to go with houses only. And then we want to have for sale selected. Now, as you can see, we got a lot of green space out here that's not selected because we still have the boundary on. So we're going to remove the boundary. All right. Now, everything you see in the screen is going to be over here to the right. Okay, so if we want to zoom in a little bit more, or if we really want to just home into this Tulsa area, we can take our draw tool right here at the top right here, and we'll just do a circle around here, mostly covering the little white parts on the map, hit apply, and boom. So locked in, we got over 1,600 properties here that we can target. So not a bad number. Now, the other thing that I like to do, I don't like to go below 50,000. You can, but I don't like to go below 50,000. So I'm going to go on the price and do a minimum of 50,000. And then over here on the sort homes for you, I'm going to do low to high. All right. And it started at 50,000. Okay. So what are we looking for? So here are some basic rules that we're going to look for. We want to look for properties with, ideally, this is not cut in stone. Now, some of you all may want to follow this to the T. That's fine. But you have to sort of use it as a foundation, but not an end all. But what is ideal is a listing that has a low number of photos, low views per day, which all will make sense here in a moment, a very short description, and then we maybe look into price history and see a lot of price cuts. Let's start with this one right here at 50 grand. This property only has one photo. The views are less than 5 per day. And the only reason you can see this is because you have Zomps downloaded. How it's calculated is you have the total number of views divided by the number of days on Zillow. That gives you 4.37 views per day. Love it. Look how short that description is, right? Now, you want to read your descriptions. Says it has tenants. No problem at all. Says how much they're in there for. But I love it because one photo, low number of views, very short description. We call this a lazy listing, right? And we love those. We love those. Now, we can take it a step further and we can look at the price history. 2 ways to do that. We could go down here to the bottom and scroll until we see price history. And we can see they purchased it back in March of 2024 for $37,500. They listed it for sale in July for $50,000. Looks like it may have went under contract in August and must have fell out. And then they put it back on the market again in October for $50,000 again. But normally I would like to see more of a price drop, but that's fine. All the other factors up here at the top are in play. So another way to look at the price drop, if we go ahead and hit this green plus button over here, now we have it added to the Zomps panel. How to access that? You click this button here, this key. All right, so boom. So we have this property added here in our Zomps panel. All right, so if we want to look at the price history, just go into this blue button and says show history. Okay, and it shows the same thing that we just looked at on the actual listing. All right, so all of them will have that, right? All right, so now let's find another one. Let's look through this. So let's look at this particular property. One photo, less than 1 view per day, short description or whatever. And this may be a package of properties. This home is sold as is. This home is part of a package. Okay, so this is a package deal here. You still would probably want to reach out on them. You may be able to find a good package of deals because all the other criteria is there. This is a lazy listing, though. So we definitely would want to meet out on them. So what I would do is I would add it to my list. Boom. So we got 2 in Tulsa just like that, right? I just did a video on my live streams that we do Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And it was titled, You Should Be Making 10 Offers Per Day. Or are you making 10 offers per day? This is how you can do with this tool. This is the tool. All right. So we found 2 in Tulsa. So let's go to another market. So let's go to Orlando, Florida. See what we come up with. So the first thing we want to do is reset our filters. We're on for sale. We want our price to be 50,000 and more. So it shouldn't be a problem here in this market. And we want to deselect all and only do houses. All right. And we want to make sure that we only have agent listed selected. This is very important. We don't want new construction. We don't want foreclosure. We don't want auctions. We don't want foreclosure. We don't want any. We just only want agent listed. Hit apply. And then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to remove the boundary. And then I'm just going to draw my own boundary. You don't have to do this. You can go with everything that you see in the screen here. I'm just trying to simplify it a little bit. So I'm just going to put a boundary here, hit apply, and boom. All right. So now I'm going to go over here and sort for homes for you. And as I said, low to high. All right. So boom, there we go. All right. So now the lowest is 79.9. So we'll go ahead and click on this particular property. We don't have to start there. I'll just move up on here. So this property here, 1 photo, less than 10 views per day, 1 sentence, actual description. We're all over that. I'm going to go ahead and add it to Zomps. All right. But I want to look at the price history. So it was listed for sale back in November. They started out at 89.9. So now they're down. They dropped the price a couple of times. They did go on the contract right here. Must have fell out. Now they're down to 79.9. So, but we would offer on this particular property. All right. So let me scroll down and go into some little higher stuff here in this market. So let's get in this area here. So let's start with this one down here. So this one is asking 190. All right. So it has 13 photos. Not bad. Definitely livable, but needs updating. So let's look up closer at it. Only getting 5 views per day. So it's not a lot of interest in this property. Has a recent price cut right here and a very short description. All right. So it doesn't say anything crazy that we don't deal with wholesalers or whatever. So now let's go ahead and add this property and let's look at the price history on it. Okay. So they purchased back in 2015. So that's not important. So they listed it for sale in August for $229. All right. So they've had, it went under contract in September. It must have fell out. So they listed it for sale again in September, back for $229. They dropped the price October to $206. And now as of January 2025, they're down to $190. Yes, we would target that particular property. All right. So we have 2 in Orlando. All right. Let's go to the next city. We're going to go to Detroit, Michigan. All right. And what we have here. So remember, we're going to reset our filters. We're going to make sure on the show more, we're going to deselect everything except agent listed. We're only going to deselect everything but houses. Here, we're going to do 50,000 and above because you can get some really cheap stuff in Detroit and we're for sale. So we're going to zoom out and I'm going to remove my boundary and I'm going to draw my own boundary here. So I'll just draw it in this general area. Boom, hit apply. And there we go, guys. Tons of target here. Okay, so then I'm going to go here and I'm going to start from low to high. So we're starting right at 50 grand. I don't even know if I like how that would look, but we'll go ahead and click on it and make it look a lot better. So it has 13 photos. Okay, so they wasn't that lazy on the photo. It didn't do any photos of the house itself, which is amazing. Only getting 1 view per day, which means it's very overpriced. Decent description. So let's look at the price history on this. I'm going to just scroll down and look at it on this one. All right. So it looks like they've been trying to sell this property for a minute since December of 2022. Started out at 60,000. They don't have a lot of motivation on this particular property, but we'll still offer on it anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the plus sign and add it. All right. So I'm going to scroll down and go to some higher price stuff here in Detroit. So I'm going to go to page 3 because I know it's probably a lot of cheap stuff there. So let me change this from to 100,000. But I don't just only want to get cheap stuff in here. Cheap for this market anyway. All right. So let's look at this one right here. You can just randomly choose. So this one has 8 photos. Livable, but needs work. All right. And so it's getting 35 views per day. I don't like that. I don't have a very short description though. And so let's look at the price history. So let's add this one. So 100 grand. All right. Look at the price history. So they purchased it for 64,000 back in May of 2023 right here. And they listed it for sale in December of 2024 for 130. And then they dropped the price just recently down to 120 in January, then dropped it again down to 100. So there's a level of motivation there. I would leave this one there. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we got 6. So we have 6 properties there. We looked at 3 different types of markets. So I think you sort of get what we're looking for here. We're just looking for any sign of either a very lazy listing, which means the property may be worth what they're asking for it, but because the agent was so lazy in the listing, that it creates an opportunity for us, right? So that's one of the main things you want to look at, but you'll broaden your spectrum, your horizon as you start to look at a lot of different properties. As you can see, there's going to be endless opportunities out there. This is the best method going because it literally costs nothing to do this as of today. This tool is free. I'm letting you know it's going to change, but as of now, it's right for the date of this video. All right, 2 things you can do here. So I'm going to show you the good part last on this. So we want to download this list. So if you have your list, even though we're in different markets, so you have all your information here on the property, right? So what I'm going to do is go here to select all under action right below clear all, hit apply. Then I'm going to go back to action. You have to select it twice. Hit export as a CSV. Okay, so I'll save this, right? And now what you'll do is go over to Google. If you're logged into your Gmail, look at the little dots up here. We call a dot of hamburgers, and scroll down to Sheets, right, until you find Sheets. See this folder right here? See my mouse, my cursor rather, and then upload. Select upload right here in the middle, and then you go up here and you take this and you click on it and hold it and drag it down. Boom. Just takes a second to load, and there you go. So now you have an actual sheet that you can manage your leads with on this particular search. Initially, the sheet was set up differently, but we set it up to make it more manageable for you. So you can change any of this if you want, as far as these headings, and add more columns, or whether that's just a Google search away if you don't know how to do that. But we have the date. We have the message sent date if you're going to send a message out to the agent. And then we have the result. And then we have the actual agent's contact, their name and their actual phone number, and a place for the email address. All right. So once you build your list, so now you need to reach out to the agent. So this is when you go back to Zomps and you scroll down, you use this message here or something similar to it. And well, let me show you how to find the agent's information. So let's go back to the list. All right. And so I'm just going to click here. Here are the links to each one of your properties. So if I click here, and I can go back to that particular listing. So if you scroll down, you can see the information of the agent right here, or of course, it's right here on your list, right? Under this column right here. I'm just going to bold that. It's under this column right here and change the color, give it a little jazz here. So that's the agent's information. That's their phone number. So what you can do is you can simply send them a text message with this message. Hello, Vincent. Where can I send an offer on your listing at 123 Elmore, Eleanor Drive, Orlando, Florida, right? And your name. So you put the address right here and your name. Boom. Or you can send them an email. Now, sometimes these phone numbers are not their sale numbers. It goes to their office numbers. So what you can do is, let's take this address here. So I'm just going to copy this address. Or I could just do a search on it. I'm just going to do a search on it. Realtor.com sometimes make it very easy to find the agent's actual mobile number, depending on the market and or their email address. So if you scroll all the way down, once you're on the Realtor.com page, you'll see listed by. If this link is hot, you can click on it and boom, there's his mobile number. So is that the same number we have on the sheet? And 9245. Yes, it is. But also you show his website. Okay. And let's see agents. So we're going to look for Vincent. All right. And is he the only one on here? Welcome to. Okay. Yeah, that's him right there. All right. So contact me. So this is his actual email address. I don't know if, well, no, it's not. It's going to probably take us to a form. Let's see. Here's his email address right here. Boom. Just look on his site. There it is right there. I don't know why agents make it so difficult to contact them. If they had just an email just to catch all, even crazy emails, that's what you need. But you don't need to make it difficult for people to reach out to you to find your contact information. That was pretty simple, but sometimes it's not. Okay, so we know we're going to send the message out. So the next step in this phase is that what happens when the agent says, yes, send the offer to this email address. So what do? So we actually have an offer template here that you can fill out to send to the agent. Now, before you had to download this and fill it out, it was a Google Doc. You had to fill it out. You had to somewhat not mess the sheet up or whatever. Some people were having a real challenge with it. Plus, they had to do the math on what the offer and everything. So I said, wait a minute, Tara, there's too much technology out here. Let's make it easy for the people. So you can go here on Zomps.com under the Find Deal, scroll down, you'll see Create Offer. You can select it there, and all you have to do is fill in the blanks. So this particular property, so let's go back to Zomps, and let's look at this particular property right here. So I'm just going to click on it to open it up. All right. So I'll take the address, copy the address, and I'll go back to Zomph right here, put in the address. All right. And the price was $190. I'll take the price. Now, once I put in the price, $190, all right, it's going to do the rest for you. So let me explain all of this for you also. And this is very important. Let me do this. Let me go ahead and download this, and then I'll break everything down. All right. So I'll come back and break this down. So all you have to do is put in the price. It's going to do everything else. Now, this property, I'm going to add $500 here, and I'll explain it here in a second. I'm just going to add $500 here. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to download this. So I select download. And remember this number right here, this 57. You know what? Let's do this. All right. So I'm going to, can I duplicate this page here? Let's see. Yes, it did duplicate. Boom. Good. All right. So now I'm going to download this, this document here. It only takes a second. It'll take you over to this next page. I'll normally have a video here that you can learn on. So down, you scroll down. Always, guys, when you get to a website, don't say, I don't see it. I don't see it. Scroll down. Scroll down. All right. And here's my offer. So I am going to save it. Then I'm going to go up here, open this folder, double click on it, and boom. So that's your actual offer that you'll send over to the actual agent. Now, let's break this down. So the asking price on this property, if you remember, was $190, right? So doing the math using the KISS method, and let me go here and open up another one here. We're making offers based on tiers. There's another way of doing it that most people show you how to evaluate a property with ARVs, comps, Mayo, all that stuff. That is confusing for a lot of people, and that's one of the main reasons people don't ever succeed at this. This is my attempt to make this very, very simple for you guys. Okay, so now you don't have to get worried about the math because the offer calculator is going to do all this for you, but you still need to understand why it's doing it. If a property is $75,000 and below, we offer 20%. If it's between $75,000 and $150,000, we offer 40%. $150,000 between $300,000, we offer 50%. $300,000 to $750,000, 60%. $750,000 to $1.5 million, 65%. If you get above that, do your thing. All right. So I have to explain that. So if I show this document again, so based on the tier that we're on, we're at 190. So we're between we're between 150 and 300,000. So if we do the math on that, we're at 50% of that number. We're at 95,000. Okay. So remember the agent, based on full price, and let me explain that. Let me back up and explain that. All right. So the full price on this property is $190. How real estate agents are paid is commission. In most cases, the listing agent, which is Vince on this deal, he's not going to produce his own buyer. Normally, another real estate agent is going to produce the buyer. The commission can be 4, 5, 6%. 6% is a very common number, especially at this price point. So we're going to use 6% as the number. So Vince won't get the full 6%. He will only get 3%. So just to show you this calculator really quick. So 3% times 190 is $5,700. So over here on the offer calculator, guess what it shows? Agent commission at listing price, meaning full price, right? It's $5,700. The calculator automatically makes sure, even though we're asking 50% less, or we're offering 50% less than what they're asking, the agent is still going to make the same amount of money. And the reason why is because if we look at our document here, we're paying $95,000 times 6% equals $5,700. Now, at the 50% offer rate, it automatically is going to pay them the same if they were going to sell it for full price. But when you go higher or lower, those numbers will change. If it goes to 60%, 65%, they're actually going to make more. If it goes below that, we have to add money, but don't get caught up in all of that. The calculator is going to figure all of that out for you. You just make sure if you want to add more, that's totally up to you because you can edit any of these fields in here, any of them. You can edit all of these, right? Okay, so I added $500 though, but because someone actually say Tyrone, so it automatically says 0. That wouldn't look right. Can we remove this line right here? So because I didn't want to put my program into any more headache than I had already creating this thing, I said, you know what? Just add $100 or $500. Not going to kill you on this deal or whatever, right? And so we just put $500 in that field and it goes right here, okay? So if you can see the total paid to the listing agent because you're taking the $500 and you're adding it to the $5,700 here, right? That's $6,200. Now, the only issue is that the earnest money deposit, no, it's not an issue because it's below $100,000. So the earnest money deposit, it automatically defaults. If it's below $100,000, it's going to default to $500. If it's above $100,000, it defaults to $1,000. Now, sometimes they're going to want more depending on the price point that you're offering of that particular property. But, offers are free. You can always negotiate or decide that doesn't work for you, however you want to do it. But then it fills out the rest of it. This basically close of escrow, meaning when you close on the deal, it normally is going to automatically generate a date 23 days from the date that you fill it out, somewhere in there, 23, 24 days. And then the due diligence period, 10 days for the property evaluation and inspection. And then location of closing, buyer will select closing attorney or title company or escrow company. So that's how it's filled out. So that's your offer. So now you can email this over to an agent, or you could get even more clever. Take a snapshot of this, zoom out, screenshot your document here, text it to yourself. Now I ain't gonna go through all the technical part of that. And when you send the message to the agent and say, hey, where can I send this offer over? How can I email this offer over to you, John? And put the address. But you attach this to it, this image of this document showing this, because what you want the agent to see, and this is the most important part of this, is I'm going to make it the same amount of money, even though they're taking half, right? Now, some agents are going to balk at it. They're going to be not that smart and don't get it, but a lot of agents will. That, wow, I need to push this. The other thing is, and I'll talk about that later whenever we end this, because it's going to be very important to understand the mindset and why we're doing what we're doing. But I just want to take you through the technical part. So now that's targeting listed properties. So you say, well, what if the property is off market? How does these numbers work? And do I use this offer calculator? No, you don't use the offer calculator, but you will use this same offer table, right? You'll still use the same offer table. And so what you'll do, so like this exact property here, if this was off market, what we would do is we would take this address, go to Google, and we would do a search for it, right? And so what I'm looking for the address on the Zillow result, the Redfin result, and the Realtor.com result. So what I'll do now, this property is listed, so it won't work well because they're going to just show what the listed price is. So let me do this. Let me find a property. Let me find a property sort of next, that's not listed. So let me go in here and just zoom in and just pick something. All right, just pick something in the neighborhood or whatever. So I'm just going to pick a random property. All right, we'll go with this one. All right, so let me Google that one. And so now do we have all three links? We don't have Redfin. And sometimes that'll happen. We have 5824, but we have one close by. We have 5813. So we got two of them. So let's see what they say, though. Let's just see what they say. So that's going to be some of the situation when you're evaluating it like this. So let's see what Zillow says. Zillow is saying 281, and Realtor normally is a little higher for whatever reason. It said 272 good. So Realtor's actually lower. So you could just average those or just say 275. That's your number. So let's assume 275 is your number. Now, based on the table, we're going to be between 150 to 300,000. So that's 50%. So you can still go over here and use the offer calculator or forward producer. And I'll reset the numbers. And we put in here what I said, 275, or I think that's what I said, 275. So your offer is $137,500. You don't even have to worry about any of this rest of this information because you're dealing directly with the owner and it's off market. Or even if it's for sale by owner, you just having a conversation. If they agree to it, you all send a contract over. Boom. There it is. But here's your number. That's why it says your offer. All right. So that's how you do it if it's off market, right? Hopefully I was clear on that. You're going to check Redfin. You're going to Google the address, right? You're going to Google the address. You're going to check Zillow.com, Realtor.com, and Redfin and look at those. If the numbers are close to each other, it makes it very easy for you. Boom, you got a home run. Sometimes they're not. That's when you'll have to dive deeper on the properties, right? You may need some help if you don't know how to do that. All right, but that's how you take care of it if it's off market. That was easy, right? But it gets easier. We're going to go back to the Zomps window, and you see this black button here that says Create Offer. That's new as the date of this video. Now, when you click on Create Offer, it takes you back over to Zomps.com, but it takes you over to that form again, and everything is already filled out. So now all you have to do is, you can verify your numbers, of course, always, but it should always be right. And you can go down here and select download. It takes you over to the download page again. Scroll down, select download. Normally what I would do is name it the address of the property, but for the sake of this, I'm just going to hit save. And then boom, I go up here to the download button up here in the browser, select the folder, double click on it, and boom, it's magic. There you go. We have it all filled out again. Boom, you're still here. I don't know what else to tell you. I've laid it out step by step on how you can start making offers today. Start targeting properties nationwide. You won't run out of opportunities. So there's literally no excuse for you to get into the game right now. Now, to access Zomps, the KISS method, and all the tools associated with this, simply text the word SMART to 205-964-5243. And also, before you go, please subscribe to the channel, tap the little bell, select all, so you are alerted when I upload new videos like this one and when we go live Monday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, X, formerly known as the Twitter, and LinkedIn, and yeah, Facebook. So there's nothing else to be said. Thanks, and I will see you on the flip side.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Get that bag.